Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of my card flipping series. First off, I want to say thank you all for all the comments, likes, and new subscribers to the channel. And it's really motivating me to keep this series going and getting you guys new content each and every week. So this week we had 19 sales for $203. In addition to this probably being my best week to date, we are absolutely crushing our monthly sales compared to February and March. I'm sure I'll show you guys at the end of the video, but February, we were around 260. March, we were about 313 in sales. And this month, we were already at 534, and we have a solid week left. And the funny thing is, I don't even have some of the biggest cards that I bought and showed in the last video even listed yet. But enough yapping, we're going to get into the cards that sold. Unfortunately, I do not have any cards to open today. We had a huge mail day last week, and I'm still trying to climb out of the hole I put myself in, but we got a vast majority of that covered. All right, let's get right into it then. So the first card that sold in between last episode and now is this blue Prism Deca Wilt Chamberlain, numbered out of 149. We sold that for $4.99 before fees and all that crap. So next, we sold this Paolo Banchero Holo Rated Rookie. We sold this for $15. Next up, we have this red Iron Man card that we sold for $2.50. I tried to get him to buy the other two, but he didn't really seem too interested in the others. Next up, this one sold in like an hour. It's Daniel Gafford. It's the first print, so it's 1 out of 199, the red Prism Deca. So this next transaction went to the same person. This person offered me for this Michael Cooper autograph out of 99. I sent him a message about the Michael Cooper out of 25 that I had, and he was interested. And he was also interested in a red Prism Deca Jerry West. And we ended up getting a package together. So that the 90 out of 99 one he paid $9.35 for. And then we did 22 total for the out of 25. And then the Jerry West, we got that sell pretty much just by me reaching out to the buyer. And like if he was interested, then great. If not, I was going to ship just the one he bought originally. Next, we sold this Paul George Cosmic for $10. Now we did sell that Curry out of 99 there. I know I said comps are up at around $90-ish, but I got an offer for $65, and I paid $20 for it, so I was pretty happy just to take the profit. Next up, I accepted an offer for this OG Anunoby out of 25 Prism Deca Mojo for $13.99. I also accepted a best offer on this Julius Randle Cosmic out of Select, and this Marquise Johnson Noir on-card autograph. I accepted an offer for $9. When I bought it, I knew it wasn't the best purchase, so I was happy just to get my money back there and maybe lose $1. I don't know if I've ever showed this card on screen, but I have this Caleb Williams silver mosaic rookie NFL debut. Sold for $15. This is another case of me reaching out to a buyer about potentially other cards. Now, this guy has bought for me in the past. He's bought Ryan Rupert cards for me in the past. So he offered me $2 for the red one we saw in the last video. I'm like, hey, I have this other silver one. Are you interested? I offered him $10. He countered me with 8. I was more than happy to do that. Then we sold this Bull blue, green, and yellow Prism Choice rookie. Accepted an offer for $8. Made some pretty decent margins on that one. I accepted another offer for this Obi Toppin here, rookie auto, not numbered or anything. I accepted $8.48 for it. Again, made pretty good margins on that. The Steph Curry, I ended up losing a little bit, like $1 maybe. The red mosaic, somebody's bought it for $2.25. And this is another bigger one here. This is the Lindy Waters National Treasures RPA, the horizontal. I had it up for $49.99. Somebody offered me $37.50 this morning, and I accepted it. Again, I paid $20 for it. I was happy just to get the profit. And these next two aren't super crazy. This Gabe Davis out of 75 from Mosaic has been sitting on my page for probably a couple months. And somebody randomly bought it today for $2. And this Marcus Sasser I listed today for $2.99. Somebody offered me $2.50. I said, why not? Just keep the cards moving, keep the money flowing. All right, guys, so I'm actually back from the future. So I sold like 4 more cards pretty quickly after I recorded the last segment going through all my sales. So I'm just going to add those on to what we just talked about. And that will adjust our number I told you in the beginning to 23 sales for $257, which is pretty huge. It's a pretty huge week. So let me show you guys what else we sold. So the biggest of the new cards that I just sold was the Joakim Noah Letterman patch out of $299. Out of $250. I sold it for $50. I bought it for $15, and it had been sitting for a little bit. Somebody offered me. I said, why not? Next up, a couple lower end autographs. We have a Wendell Moore Prism Deca auto we sold for $2. Then we have the Poku auto that we sold for $3.74. Then about an hour ago, when I'm recording this on Friday, we sold this Denard Robinson, Allen, and Ginter auto. It had been up on my page for just a couple hours before I accepted best offer. Now, since I'm not getting any cards in to open in the mail, I did want to add a second part to this video. Somebody in the comments asked me how I do so well in sales. And I appreciate it. It may look like I am, but it feels like things are still pretty slow on eBay. But I still wanted to give you guys a little bit of a list of things that I focus on when selling that have seemed to be working for me recently. And maybe you guys can incorporate into your business creation or your eBay store yourself. So the first thing that I think leaves a great impression on potential buyers is taking clear and colorful and bright photos. Now I'm going to put a couple photos here of what my listings look like, and you can see how crystal clear they are. The colors pop and everything looks great on them. And I've seen listings that have been pretty misleading, whether they're too colorful or not colorful at all. And my strategy with that, I have one of those light boxes where it's like a bright LED light with like a white background, and it helps you just take the best photographs. And I think that's super important. Very important curb appeal, I guess you could say. Like if somebody sees it, it's going to stick out over other listings, if that makes sense. And next up, this is something that I kind of deal with as a buyer, so I can say for sure, but sometimes people put their shipping costs way too high, way more than it needs to be. I can say confidently I'm not alone in that statement. Like if somebody is looking at $1, $2 card that they're going to have to pay $5 shipping on, they're probably not going to buy it. I utilize the eBay standard envelope so if I'm selling a card, and it's only for cards under $20, so if I'm selling a card under $20, I'm going to list it for one of those lower shipping cost points. And as a buyer, if I see a $5 card with 69-cent shipping and a $5 card of the same one that's $4 shipping, I'm going to buy the one with 69-cent shipping. It's hard for me to purchase one singular card when paying $5 for them to ship it to me, when it really only costs not under $1. And then finally, something that I've been doing is accept reasonable offers. I know it's hard. It's something that I would say I struggled with a little bit, is wanting to get every single penny out for the card that you have listed for it. And that's okay. I mean, people are more stingy than other people, and people have more invested into certain cards than others, and that's okay. For example, that Steph Curry that I bought, I had originally listed it for $90. It would have been amazing if somebody bought it for $90, but if somebody offered me $65 for it, it's pretty much 2.5 times profit. I'm pretty happy accepting that. And it all kind of depends on how much money you have invested into the card too, how long it's been listed for, if you're willing to just break even, or if you're taking a small profit. There's a lot of factors in play, but I think accepting offers is very beneficial. And the last strategy that I have been taking into account in the last few weeks with listing cards is listing consistently. So I've been aiming to list 5 cards a day for the last week, and it seems like I've been getting a lot more traffic on my listings. I don't know if that's just placebo effect. I don't even know if I use that word right. Things I've heard in other videos, that there's an algorithm where if you list consistently, it's better than listing them all at once. So I'm kind of trying that, and things seem to be working a little bit, and just trying to be just consistent with it, which is why I need to be buying soon so I have cards to keep listing. But we'll figure that out when the time comes. Okay, with that in mind, we're going to hop over to the Excel page, and you guys can see where we are at with our finances, and you might be a little surprised, because after these new sales, I mean, we might be seeing some green. Okay, so hopping over to the updated Excel sheet. Here's all our sales. And then right now, we are currently in the positive. We cleared all of my spending that I did about 2 weeks ago, and we are back in the green. Remember, I was getting all worried about not being able to make my money back. We've done it. So now everything we do is just house money now, and I'm going to try and build up for a little while and just see what we can do with buying pretty soon. So I'm excited for that. Here's the updated turnover sheet. You can see there's some green, there's some red that on small losses that I had, but mostly green stuff that I have sold. Here's a little graph I was messing around with today. I was going to try and do each month, so you can tell this is a more visual representation of where we're at. So February we had 263, then 313 in March, and then actually I have to update that now. Bang! So we're even higher up now, and we still have about a week left in the month. And then a little sneak peek here. I'm thinking about in the next couple weeks, maybe doing one a month, maybe submitting cards to DC Sports. These are some of the cards that I'm thinking, or I'm keeping my eye on. If they sell, they sell, but If not, they're probably going to DC Sports to be liquidated. But yeah, again, thank you all for the continued support. It makes it very easy for me to make these videos every single week for you. And I hope you have a good